Reducing the amount of pollution each city produces has been set as one of the government's key targets for 2020, and in York, preparations are already underway.
Clean air zone is different things in different cities, but in York it's going to be a voluntary way of restricting the sorts of buses that come into York. It'll be brought in over the period of 2 years, so that even at the period when it cut off time, they still have another year to convert. But it will be buses coming into York with, I think it's more than 5 times a day. The council just approved 1.64 million expenditure. Some people might say, oh, why are you giving taxpayers' money to the buses? They're a commercial company. But we think that by giving this money to them, we are helping them to change the way they bring buses through York. Not only are there the nitrous oxide pollution, there's also things called particulate matter, 2.5 and 10. These are things which come off the tyres and the exhausts of all vehicles, not just buses. And these pollute in a different way. They're tiny, tiny particles that get into your lungs and then into your bloodstream. And we don't actually know what those do yet. And there's no safe levels for them. We do know that it causes asthma, heart disease, even brain disease. You know, so many things they've still got to find out, but it really is so detrimental to our health, and people don't realise this. If they could actually see the pollution that came out of the back of cars, if it were a colour, if you could see blue coming out of the back of cars, people would be horrified at what is going into their lungs. You don't see it, so people are not concerned.
As well as buses, the new scheme hopes to reduce the use of all diesel vehicles in the city. But according to Clean Air York, there is already one way that everyone can start reducing their carbon footprint.
Basically, any time you stop, particularly to make a phone call, to drop somebody off, maybe even when you're trying to put directions into your sat-nav, turn your engine off. You don't need to leave it running. Every minute you leave it running, you're putting extra unnecessary pollution into the air. Sometimes I can literally feel congestion, as in, hay fever, coming on because of all this pollution. So it's the easiest form of anti-pollution, vehicle pollution to tackle, and low budget. The council wouldn't have to spend a lot of money on it. They probably have to put some more signs up. Most of the people I speak to are really happy to turn their engines off. They just didn't think.
With the plan already in place, it's hoped that York is well on its way to becoming a greener city. York Atkinson, That's TV.